Hey, I'm Jem, and today we're diving into something that every business owner thinks they understand, but very few actually track correctly. And honestly, this one KPI quietly determines whether your business is about to grow consistently or slowly crumble without you even realizing it. Think of it like the check engine light in your car. Most people don't notice it, don't pay attention to it, or pretend it's not a big deal until the engine actually dies. And business works the exact same way. So, in today's video, we're going to break this down clearly, simply, and step by step. No jargon, no fluff, just what you actually need to know. So here's what we're going to be covering today. The KPI you need to track, how to measure it, how to improve it, what to avoid, and how to make this KPI work for you every single month. And listen, if you want more leads or you want to skip the trial and error completely and get pre qualified leads delivered to you, that's what I help business owners with every single day. But more on that later. Let's jump in. All right, before we talk about growth, optimization, or scaling, we need to understand the foundation that all of that sits in. The KPI is lead to customer conversion rate. This is a number that tells you very simply, out of all the leads you're generating, how many of them are actually turning into paying customers. Most business owners track how many leads came in, how many appointments were booked, how much revenue they made, maybe how many calls were answered. But the conversion rate, the percentage that shows what's actually happening between lead generated and customer acquired. That's one they really skip. And that's why they get blindsided. And a simple way to understand it is I work with independent auto dealers in the US. And here's how I explain it to them. I help you not just get leads, I help you figure out how many of those leads are turning into actual paying customers and car buyers. Because if a dealership is getting 300 leads and only selling 5 cars, the problem isn't the leads, it's something happening in the process. And that number exposes everything. Here's the step by step breakdown. Count how many new leads came in last month. This includes form fills, calls, chats, messages, everything. Then count how many new customers actually bought something. Not people who showed interest, not people who booked appointments, actual buyers. Number three, now divide customers by leads. Customers divided by leads equals your conversion rate. And that percentage is the truth. No emotions, no stories, no assumptions. It tells you the health of your business instantly. A more detailed example here. Let's say a dealership in Florida generates leads from Facebook ads, their website, marketplace, walk ins to submit their info, old leads returning. By the end of the month, they count everything and realize 200 total leads came in. And then they check their sales records and see only 6 people bought this month. Now let's do the math here. 6 customers divided by 200 leads is 0.03, which is 3%. That's a 3% lead to customer conversion rate. And here's what that tells us. The dealership is losing money somewhere. Either the leads aren't qualified, or the sales process is weak, or follow up is inconsistent, or response times are slow, or the offer isn't compelling, or the team isn't trained to handle online leads, or the leads are not matched to the right inventory. A 3% rate means something is breaking, you're generating interest, but you're not converting it. And once you know that conversion rate, you know exactly where to look. You know exactly what needs fixing. You know exactly why your business feels stuck. That's why this KPI is a silent predictor of success or failure. Now that we've identified the KPI, the thing that shows us whether your business is healthy or slowly bleeding, the next step is to make sure you measure it correctly without guessing. Here's the honest truth. Most business owners guess. They'll say things like, yeah, we probably close around 10% of our leads, or we're doing pretty well. I think our close rate is like 20 to 30%. But when we actually sit down, pull the data, and look at what's happening month by month, it's usually nowhere close to what they think. Sometimes their real conversion rate isn't 10%, it's 3% or 5% or even less. And it's not because they're lying, it's because they're not measuring. So let's fix that. Here's how to measure your lead to customer conversion rate with real clarity. Step one, track every lead source separately. This is huge. Most businesses throw everything into one pile. We got 160 leads this month. Okay, great. But from where? Not because because not all leads are created equal. A referral lead behaves differently from a cold Facebook lead. A Google search lead behaves differently from someone who clicked a random banner ad. So instead of mixing everything together, you want to separate your lead sources. For example, Facebook ads leads, Google ads leads, website organic leads, SEO contact form, referrals, repeat customers, returning clients, third party marketplaces. Each one of these is its own bucket. Why? Because later, when you calculate conversion rates, you'll instantly see which source brings the best leads, which source is overpriced and underperforming, which source you should double down on, and which one you should probably cut completely. If you mix them together, you'll never know. Use one sheet or CRM to log every incoming lead. Now that you separated your sources, you need one place where everything lives. This can be a simple Google Sheet, an Excel file, or a proper CRM like HubSpot, Go High Level, Pipedrive, etc. The tool doesn't matter as much as the discipline of logging every lead to one central system. At a minimum, every lead entry should include name, contact info, source, status, new, or contacted, or qualified, or won, or lost. Does this take a bit of time to set up? Yes, but once it's in place, you have a live dashboard of what's going on in your business real time. Number three, update the status daily. This is the part where most people fall off. They set up the sheet, they start logging, then after a week, it becomes outdated. To make this work, you or your team need to update the status daily. That means if a new lead comes in, mark them as new. After someone calls them, switch them to contacted. If they're a real opportunity, mark them as qualified. If they bought, update to one. If they say no, mark as lost. Why daily? Because this gives you real-time visibility. You don't want to be guessing at the end of the month. You want to be able to open your sheet at any time and see how many new leads came in, how many are being followed up with, how many are stuck, how many actually converted. This also helps you catch problems early. If there are 50 new leads and nobody has contacted them yet, that's a red flag. If many leads are stuck at qualified but never moving to one, that's a closing issue. Most leads are immediately marked lost, maybe. If most leads are immediately marked as lost, maybe your targeting is off. The data tells the story if you keep it updated and accurate. Number four, calculate the conversion rate per source. Now, here's where things get really powerful. Once your sheet or CRM has lead entries, proper sources, updated statuses, you can calculate conversion rates for each source. Remember the formula from point one: customers divided by leads equals conversion rate. But this time, you're not doing it for the entire business, you're doing it per source. So for each source, ask how many leads did we get from the source? How many of those leads turned into customers? One. This will show you exactly which sources are worth your time and money and which ones are just burning your budget. Let's make this super practical. Imagine a roofing company in Texas. They decide to get serious about tracking, so they start logging every single lead in one sheet. Over the month, they end up with 100 Facebook leads, 40 Google Ads leads, 20 referral leads. So in total, 160 leads. Now, at the end of the month, they check their one status. From the 100 Facebook leads, 3 became customers. From the 40 Google leads, 4 became customers. From the 20 referral leads, 10 became customers. Now let's calculate. Facebook, 3 customers divided by 100 leads is 0.03 at a 3% conversion rate. Google Ads, 4 customers divided by 40 leads, 0.10, which is a 10% conversion rate. Referrals, 10 customers divided by 20 leads, 0.50 equals a 50% conversion rate. Now look at this. This tells us instantly Facebook is bringing in a lot of leads, but very few serious buyers. Google is bringing in fewer leads, but they're more intentional. They're searching for roofing help. Referrals are absolute gold. When someone recommends the company, half of those leads become paying customers. So if you're this roofing company, what does this mean to you? You probably don't want to pour more money into Facebook blindly. Something needs to be fixed there. The targeting, the message, the follow up, or the offer. You might want to increase your Google budget because even with fewer leads, it's converting better. You definitely want to double down on referrals, maybe build a referrals program, ask past customers for reviews, or offer a small reward for successful referrals. Without tracking per source, all you would see is we got 160 leads and 17 customers. That sounds okay, but it doesn't tell you what to fix, what to scale, or what to stop. By breaking it down per source, you're no longer guessing. You're making decisions based on reality. And that's the whole point of this KPI. It's not just a number you look at once a month. It's a tool that tells you where your best customers are coming from, where your money is being wasted, how good your sales process really is, and what you should do more of or stop doing entirely. So now you know what to track, you know how to measure it. You know what to track with your lead to customer conversion rate, and you know how to measure it by logging every lead, updating statuses, and calculating per source. The next logical step is this. Now that you can measure your KPI clearly, how do you actually improve it? Because more leads don't automatically mean more sales, better qualification does. If you remember only one thing from this entire section, let it be this. Your conversion rate improves when your leads improve. Nothing more, nothing less. I've seen businesses try everything: new scripts, more aggressive follow up, different offers, more ads, bigger budgets. But none of that matters if the lead was never a buyer to begin with. So here's how to increase your conversion rate the smart way by improving qualification step by step. Define who your ideal customer actually is. So many business owners say things like anyone can buy from us, we help everyone, a customer is a customer. But in reality, not everyone who fills out a form is qualified. Not everyone who expresses interest is ready or able to buy. You need a clear picture of the person who has the budget, has the need, has the urgency, has the authority to make a decision, and is actually ready to move forward. Think of it like this: if you try to close everyone, you end up closing no one. When you know who your real buyers are, everything becomes easier. Your marketing, your messaging, your follow up, even your sales calls. Number two, filter leads before you even talk to them. This one change alone can transform your entire business. Instead of letting every single lead go straight to your sales team, you insert a simple pre-qualification step. This can be a quick form, a few automated questions, a few short follow-up message, a short follow-up message, a phone screening, a chatbot that asks basic filters. You're not trying to interrogate them, you're simply trying to understand if they're a real buyer. Here are simple but powerful questions you can use. What's your budget? This instantly tells you if they can afford what you sell. How soon are you planning to move forward? This lets you separate the now buyers from the just browsing crowd. Are you the decision maker? This determines whether you're speaking to the person who can actually say yes. These questions are like a metal detector at an airport. They help you filter out what doesn't belong before it gets through. This is very important. Number three, remove leads that are not buyers. This is where a lot of business owners hesitate. They say, but Jem, what if I miss out on a sale? What if this unqualified lead becomes a buyer later? What if we need to follow up harder? But chasing unqualified leads is one of the fastest ways to waste your time, your team's energy, your budget, and your confidence. Your time is too valuable to spend on people who don't have the budget, who don't have the authority, don't have the intention, don't have the urgency, or were never serious to begin with. Like I talk to tire kickers and it's okay because I know these people are not serious because they're not qualified and they're not a decision maker. And even I make these mistakes sometimes. But when you eliminate the noise and all these people, the real buyers become crystal clear and your conversion rate climbs automatically without needing more leads because it can be discouraging talking to people that are not serious like that. Okay. Oh, wrong slide. Number four, focus only on decision makers with the budget and urgency to buy. This is what I said before. This is where the magic happens. When your team only speaks to people who have money, people who are ready, people who have a problem they want fixed, and people who can say yes without asking for permission, suddenly your sales process feels easy, your reps feel stronger, your conversations feel smoother, your close rate jumps without changing anything else. Your cost per acquisition drops, your profit per customer goes up, and this is how you scale without burning out because you don't want to talk to people that have no say in the process. You just want to talk to people that are ready to move forward, that have authority, that are decision makers. Okay. Let's use a real world scenario. A solar company in Arizona was struggling. They were getting tons of leads, great volume, but sales were inconsistent. Reps were all driving all across the state for appointments that went nowhere. Here's what their old process looked like. Someone fills out a form, a rep calls, a rep drives to their house, the rep discovers the person is renting the house, They don't qualify, they have no budget, or the roof is in poor condition. Hours wasted, fuel wasted, leads wasted, morale destroyed. So they changed one thing here. They added qualification before sending a rep. Here's what they started doing. They stopped sending reps to renters. Renters can't approve solar installations, instant disqualification. Number two, they only accepted homeowners. This one filter alone removed most unqualified leads. Number three, they asked for the estimated electric bill. If the bill was too low, solar makes no financial sense. Number four, they required a simple note about roof condition. If the roof is damaged, the rep doesn't waste time driving there. After implementing these four simple qualifications, their conversion rate jumped from 7 to 22%. Let's break that down. Same number of leads, same marketing budget, same sales team, same pitch, same product, but now they were only talking to real buyers. The leads were cleaner, reps were happier, appointments were more productive, sales become predictable instead of stressful. It wasn't more leads, it was better leads. That's the power of qualification. So at this point, you understand what to track, how to measure it, and how to improve it by focusing on better qualified leads. But here's the thing, you can have the right KPI and the right process and still destroy your conversion rate with the wrong habits. So now let's shift gears. We've covered what to do. Now let's talk about what not to do. Most businesses don't fail because their industry is too competitive. They fail because their ads are bad. They don't fail because their ads are bad. They don't fail because the economy is slow. They fail this KPI because of simple, preventable, totally avoidable mistakes. Let's break down the biggest ones. Slow response times. Okay. This is the number one killer of this is the number one killer of conversions. Here's the truth. If you reply after 2 hours, the lead is already cold. People today expect instant responses, especially when they're actively searching for a solution. If someone fills out a form for roofing, solar, remodeling, auto financing, legal help, coaching, or anything else, they're probably filling out filling out five other forms at the same time, honestly. The business that responds first usually wins. Your goal under 5 minutes, not 5 hours, not tomorrow, not when we get around to it, 5 minutes. Because when you respond fast, the lead remembers who you are, their problem is still fresh, they haven't talked to your competitors yet, and they're more likely to engage. Slow responses kill your conversion rate silently without you noticing. No follow up. This one is just as deadly. Most businesses call delete once, don't get an answer, and then they give up. But here's what the data actually says: 50% of all sales happen after the fifth follow up, and most businesses stop after one attempt. That means half your sales are hiding behind call number two, three, four, or five. And sometimes it's not even because the lead wasn't interested, they were just at work, driving, busy, in a meeting with their kids, or simply forgot to reply. Following up isn't annoying, it's professional. It shows consistency, reliability, and seriousness. If you want a higher conversion rate, simply follow up more than your competitors. Treating all leads the same. Another major mistake. Not all leads have the same level of trust, warmth, knowledge, intent, urgency. But many businesses talk to every lead the exact same way. For example, a referral lead comes in warm. Someone already told them you're trustworthy. A Google search lead is solution aware. They're actively searching. A Facebook lead might just be curious or bored. A returning customer is already sold. They just need details. You cannot use the same script, tone, or follow up process for all of them. Treating all leads as equal is like giving everyone at a restaurant the same meal, no matter what they ordered. Warm leads need efficiency, cold leads need education, referrals need fast service, organic leads need clarity. When you adjust your communication to the lead type, everything improves: engagement, show up rates, conversion rates, profitability, customer experience. No clear messaging. This mistake is subtle but devastating. If people can't instantly understand what you sell, who it's for, why it matters, and what the next step is, they won't buy. Confused customers never take action. Clear messaging means simple language, a direct offer, a clear benefit, and a clear next step. Not paragraphs, not long explanations, not trying to sound fancy. People buy fast when they understand fast. Let me show you a real world example of how these mistakes can destroy and even revive a conversion rate. A home remodeling company in Ohio kept complaining, our ads aren't working, our leads are garbage, people aren't serious, maybe we need to hire a new agency. So we checked their lead handling process. Guess how long it took them to call new leads? 24 hours, sometimes even longer. By the time they called, the lead had already talked to their competitors, booked another appointment, forgotten the form they filled out, or lost interest completely. So we made one simple change. We told them to call every lead within 3 minutes. Not tomorrow, not this afternoon, not once the team finishes lunch. 3 minutes. Once they implemented this consistently, here's what happened. Their appointment rate shot up from 18 to 51%. That's almost triple. And because more appointments showed up, obviously, their revenue doubled in just 2 months. The ads weren't the problem, the leads weren't the problem, speed and consistency were the problem. Fixing that single mistake completely transformed their conversion rate. All right. So now you know what to track, how to improve it, how to measure it, and what mistakes to avoid if you want your conversion rate to rise instead of collapse. Now let's bring everything together. Let's take all the tracking, the qualification, the follow-up, the speed, the improvements, and turn it into a practical, repeatable system you can use every single month to keep your business healthy and predictable. If you want your business to grow consistently, not randomly, then this KPI needs to become part of your monthly routine, just like checking your bank statement or reviewing your payroll. Here's how to do it step by step. Create a simple monthly KPI dashboard. We want to include this can be a Google Sheet. We want to include leads per source, customer per source, customers per source, conversion rate per source, cost per lead, and cost per customer, CAC. Okay, we want to create a Google Sheet or anything else that you prefer, and just drop those numbers in. Then number two, we want to review it every 30 days. This ritual reveals trends, bottlenecks, breakthroughs, and opportunities, allowing you to catch issues early and make informed decisions. Because if we can track our data and reflect on it and analyze it, we'll know how to move forward with our business. Without a monthly review, you're driving blind pretty much. Cut the sources that don't convert. This part requires discipline. We only want to invest in what works and eliminate sources that drain time and budget without yielding paying customers. Okay. Number four, we want to double down on what performs. We increase investment in high converting sources like referrals or high intent search leads. Scaling is simple. Do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Okay. Once we have something that's working, we just put everything in that basket. Okay. We want to have some other options open as well, just for testing. But once we know one platform is working, we double down on it. Okay. Number five, replace low quality leads with pre qualified ones. When you fill your pipeline with decision makers, real buyers, people with budget, people with urgency, people who are actively looking to solve a problem, your conversion rate skyrockets without changing anything else. I've talked to a lot of people that are not decision makers throughout my thousands of sales calls, and these people are not serious people. They can't make any decisions and they just waste your time. So we want to avoid people like that. Okay. This is exactly your conversion rate skyrockets without changing anything else when you make these small changes to your lead quality. This is exactly what I help business owners with, not just more leads, but pre-qualified leads that are ready to buy. Okay. Because we want to talk to people that are serious, that are decision makers, and that actually have purchasing power and don't have to talk to a board of five people because they're above them in the chain of command. Okay. These people are not serious. We want to talk to the people that are at the top of the chain of command. Let's talk about another example here. Here's how powerful this monthly dashboard can be, the one I just mentioned. A pest control company in North Carolina started reviewing their KPI sheet every 30 days. Here's what they discovered in month one. Facebook, 300 leads, 4 customers, conversion 1.3%. Google, 80 leads, 12 customers, conversion 15%. Referrals, 10 leads, 7 customers, conversion 70%. The moment they saw the numbers, decisions were obvious. They immediately cut Facebook ads, doubled their Google budget, built a referral incentive program. And the result, their revenue jumped 44% in just 60 days, not by working harder, not by hiring more people, not by doing everything manually, but by simply following the KPI. Your lead to customer conversion rate is the heartbeat of your business. It tells you whether your business is healthy or struggling, where the leaks are, which leads are worth your time, what needs fixing, and what's silently draining your profit. When you track it correctly, measure it consistently, improve your lead quality, avoid the common mistakes, and review everything monthly, your business becomes predictable. Your revenue becomes stable, and growth stops feeling like a gamble. And if you want any help doing any of this, if you want more leads, better leads, or pre-qualified buyers delivered straight to you, that's exactly what I help business owners with every day. Just reach out and I'll take care of all the heavy lifting. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, drop a comment, tell me your industry, I'll give you tailored advice for free. Subscribe so you never miss strategies that actually move the needle. And if you want your conversion rate to increase without relying on guesswork, if you want leads who are ready to buy, or if you just want me to build a predictable lead gen system for your business, just send me a message and let's get to work. You can also check out the links in the description.